Good morning. How is everyone doing? I'd like to take the time to welcome you to another morning Glory Apostolic Prophetic Center video. I am your host, Deidre Hubbard, and today we're going to continue our Renewing Your Mind series on what you think. And basically, what we're doing, we're trying to get rid of the certain mindsets that many of us have developed over the years through people, through grandma and them, through church, through the world. And most of the things that we have accustomed ourselves and believing, although it may be truth in it, is not God's way. And a lot of time, many of us stick to those certain truths, like the church say, the fake come before the real. How can a fake come before the real when you need something real to imitate the fake? So we look at the world telling the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. How is that so when I can cook? So we have certain uh, false parables or false narratives or false sayings that had caused many of us to miss the blessings of God. And when many of thinks we miss the blessing of God, we become desperate. And in these desperate times, in these desperate situations, we do things unknowingly that sometimes God allows us what to do to show us who we really are. That story is very powerful in Tamar life. And we're going to teach on that today when we see how do you see yourself. We're going to start in Genesis chapter 8, and it reads, "And it came to pass at that time that Judah went down from his brethren and turned into a certain Adullamite, whose name was Hara. And Judah saw that a daughter of a certain Canaanite, whose name was Shua, and he took her and went in into her. And she conceived and bare a son, and he called his name And she conceived again and bare a son, and she called his name Onan. And she yet again conceived and bare a son, and called his name Shelah. And he was at Shezbez when she bare with. See, a lot of times we miss who God is because we worried about how many how many people in front of us. So here we see that Judah went into this woman and he began to bear sons. What we got to understand with that is that how do you know when you're in the presence of greatness, but you don't understand what great is? And what I mean by that, I'm getting a lot of stories in from divorced people, and I'm looking at this game called comparison. I'm looking at this game called you didn't do that, but she do this. You did that, but he do this. What that got to do anything when God allows you to meet people at your time of need? See, it said, and it came to pass at that time. See, a lot of you so frustrated, a lot of you so discombobulated, and a lot of you so angry with the people that you done left, but you don't understand you had to meet them at that time. And at that time, y'all should have developed something. And for many of us, even in my own, you thought you was developing something, but watch this. You come to find out you wouldn't get nothing. You wouldn't get nothing. Should be. Hold on, let me look at something. And for many of us, we've moved on for some of us, whether we moved on for real, whether we moved on in false assumption, whether we move on in self-healing and self-righteousness, you moved on. But see what but see you forgot you left something behind because it showed a lot Judah birthed a lot of children. But in verse 5, he talks about Shelah. But notice all the other times when Judah was birthing children, he wasn't around. But this last one, he said he called his name, and he was at Chazbid when she bare him. So that means he was at a point that this particular child, he was with him. But we got to understand what Chazbid means. Chazbid means disappointment. Watch this one. Delusion, failing, or lying. A lot of you are at a point of disappointment. A lot of you are in a point of delusion. A lot of you is in a point of failing. A lot of you are lying to yourself. But watch this. You're still able to produce because you're producing out of a false sense of self. Yeah, he left me. I ain't got that much money, but I'm gonna show that nigga. I'm gonna show that. I'm gonna show them. I don't need them. I don't need them. Listen here. It ain't even about that for many of us. Suppose God telling you the reason some of you left like you left, or the reason some of you ain't got what you had, because maybe God trying to show you how he sees you. How do you see yourself when your husband then left you? How do you see yourself when your wife left you? We could talk about mine. At first I said I'm embarrassed, I'm ashamed, I failed, I'm no good. But this when a relationship with God comes in. What happened in your life at the time this woman came in your life? Many of you that been following me, you always see me on live. You always see me laughing. You always see me joking. I'm cutting the food. I'm talking about coochie and giving head, and everybody having fun. Everybody growing. Everybody have a relationship. But when I used to shut that camera down, sitting in this big old pretty, what they call it, uh, 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 this big old pretty condo. When I go downstairs, and I'm sitting in that big old pretty pool, you know what I'm saying? Well, God, why I ain't got nobody? When I'm cutting off the camera, I'm laying in the bed alone. Sure, it was women that came around, but I didn't want them. Then one day God spoke to me. He said, Deidre, if you was to die, it'll be 3 days before somebody find your body because you don't fool with nobody. But we're going to put a pin on that. Don't consider yourself worthless because you don't fool with people. I still don't. I was in Tallahassee for 9 years. I talked to two people that I consider constantly. Everybody else was my customers. I might have talked for 5 or 10 minutes. Two people. Besides the family I had, I don't fool with people. Listen here. Don't let people call you a loner. Don't let people tell you ain't fun because God knew I don't fool with people. Well, God, why don't Dietrich fool with people? Because I can see right through people. I don't play this falsivity mess that many of you do. I don't play the smile in your face and talk behind the back game. I don't play the smile, oh, I love you, and then you on the phone gossip. See, that's why y'all got to have a relationship with God. Don't feel bad because you ain't got nobody around you. So a week or two later, that's when I met Dan's wife. See, y'all got to realize y'all trying to cut people down that you don't understand the way God works. For number one, you ain't got no relationship with God. Number one, you disillusioned with your relationship with God. So y'all around here trying to compare people to apples and oranges, and God gave you what you needed when you needed it. But watch this. But when you come to a place of disappointment, and you look around and see where you at, how did I get here? I don't care if her family to see this video. I don't care if she see this video. You can't tell Brother Hubbard standing in the middle of Buckhead, looking out my living room window, looking at Lenox Mall in eyesight, and then 9 years later, everything that I had accomplished is gone with a strike of a pen, with I don't want you no more, with I can't do this. Man, y'all, you can't take, I mean, God, if it did something to me, and some of you might not live the life I had what I had, I can tell you when it ain't my things now. I'm just trying to say, I'm trying to paint the picture. You might not have lived what I lived, did what I did, but if it bothers me, and I know I'm full of the Holy Ghost, God dang it, I know it's bothering you. So now, what I'm trying to get you to see, stop self-healing yourself. You ain't got to be strong. You ain't got to say, I'm okay, but inside you mad as hell. Inside you feeling worthless. I had I had everything but a car. Y'all hear the story, but when I met her, hell, I got her the car and I wouldn't even drive it. We weren't even married. Stop letting church fool y'all. We gonna throw this in here. She took me how I would. Because if she would listen to church, if a man ain't got no car, if a man ain't got no job, if a man ain't got no house, he ain't a man. I think a man provides for what he wants. Y'all stop sitting around here with these heathen 5, 10, 15 years, getting them all the coochie and all the babies, and he ain't doing nothing for you. What good is jewelry, a good house, clothes and trips where he won't make a commitment? See, men will give you things to pacify you, but they won't give you they self. Y'all better let these people go because you at a point of delusion. Huh? So here Judah, let's get back on this. He was in a place of Chabez when she bare him. That means something in some of us look at what we doing and we find failure in ourselves. How did I get all this stuff? And all of a sudden, I think I'm building something and I'm the one left with nothing. Yeah, it happens to the best of us. And Judah took a wife for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. See, you got to realize when God see who you with, and that person is no longer with you, for you, or need you, you got to understand God to get rid of them. You do see it said the Lord slew him. So watch this. Don't never say God didn't take my child, the devil had it. God, it said the Lord slew him. God told David, I'm gonna kill that one now. But all y'all know is a God of love. I know the God of the slayer. I know he'll take your life. Because some of y'all wicked. You wicked in your thinking. You wicked at how you talk to people. You wicked how you backbite people. You wicked and how you try to seemingly talk positive, but you putting a person down. Oh, you gonna get got. I don't be worrying about it. That's why the other day when I was talking about, I said I got to get out of this nature that I got to have revenge. Cause nothing I do, even though it'll bring me pleasure, even though it'll bring me laughter, I got to know nothing I do that makes me feel good would be better than what God can do to you. Man, I used to have that therapist strung out. Huh? I said, she said, what's going on, Mr. Hubbard? I said, yeah. I said, I do this to people, do this to people, and do this to people. And I said, I be laughing at it. That darn white lady face be turning red. You be laughing at it. I said, yeah. I said, I know what I'm doing because I know how to do it. I said, I make them angry and good, and I be hurting their feelings. And I said, I sit there and laugh at it. Tell me what's wrong with me. Tell me what's wrong with me. I get enjoyment out of it. See, I know what's wrong with me. I couldn't get the satisfaction of when people came at me because I cared so much I wouldn't say nothing. But I eternalize everything. All right. But once you hit that button of eternalization, I remember everything. And then you really get it. And even when you get it, I told you to leave me alone. And I be sitting back there smiling. Because one thing I have to be careful of, because of my anointing, because of my relationship with God, I got to be careful of knowing what's going on with folks and yet still have the power to destroy them with my words. That's why I stay quiet. That's why I say leave me alone. That's why I be on Facebook or whatever, just trolling along, because that's how I get rid of it. So was wicked. See, you got to realize for some of you, don't worry about your age because you ain't had children. Just maybe God didn't want you to produce with something so wicked. Don't worry that your marriage is over, your friendship your relationship. Because just maybe before God get ready to bless you, he didn't want you to be connected with something so wicked. So don't let people make you feel bad because it's seemingly they got more than what you got all of a sudden and you ain't got nothing. See, you got to watch people who think they arrived. They're gonna look down on you. That's why I was sitting here and I'm telling y'all about my bowls and my silverware. You get what I'm saying? And my bathroom, in my protection. Come here. Come here, guard dog. Come here. Come here. See, he won't guard nothing. Come here. Come on around here. See, I got two big old guard dogs. Come on in, Dottie. Come here. Hey, look at that. He just want to play. Watch him. Watch him. Watch him. See, that's how God does y'all. He allowed people to play with you before you see who they really are. So I got me a big old, make your first television appearance. This is my big old cane Corso. Show them what you're about. Get them. Get them. Get them. Get them, bastard. Y'all, you better not play with me. Sit. Go lay down. You better not play with me because just like I said, that's a big old cane Corso. You said, what he talking about, that little bit of dog? That lets me know you ain't got no relationship with God. It ain't how you see things, it's what that thing mean to God. See, you might look at yourself as a failure. You might let yourself like you ain't did that. But in God's eyes, you more than a conqueror. Look at, lay him back down. But watch this. You better not come around me. Y'all give it up. He did good for his first television appearance. Good doggy. Go get some treats. But watch this. And Judah said unto Onan, go in unto thy brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seeds to thy brother. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his. And it came to pass, when he went in unto his brother's wife, that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother. And the thing which he did displeased the Lord, wherefore he slew him also. Ooh, that damn boy, that God a killer. You mean he done slew her husband before she conceived? And here we see Onan did something God didn't like, and God slew him. My God, he's a killer. Thank you, Lord, for killing him. I'm trying to show y'all a different side of God. Because it's how you think. You round here, God bless me. God do this. God do this. God do this. I was listening to a service in the car. They was talking about worship. The service was good. They knew what worship is, but they left one important thing out. I don't care how you worship God. Don't think God gonna answer your prayer. Because see, this is what they should have put in it. You can worship God all you want. But if you ain't obedient to God, your worship to God means nothing. That's why he said obedience is better than sacrifice. You can worship God in the car. You can worship God in the shower. You can buck out and dance in the stove. Huh? You can go in store, you can go in church and do a 24-hour worship service. But the minute you get up, if you got a relationship with God, did you give them $400 I told you to do? No, God, your worship meant nothing. Obedience is the only way to open God's hand. Now, it was good. I'm not going to say it was good, but watch this. You cannot effectively teach about worship until you establish obedience, because what the church has done, you could have disobedient people. They go in the church, whatever you're going through, worship God, he gonna no, you got to obey God before he release anything, because if God release anything and you don't have it obey God, then that makes God a liar, that you can worship your way into his heart. You got to obey your way in the heart. You want me to prove it to you? Let there be light. Light obey. Let there be cloud. Clouds obey. Everything God got obeys him. Y'all ever see them pictures of the Pacific and whatever waters? And he said, "Let the firmament cold come, but don't touch." You can see the dirty water and the clean water. They come just like that, but they don't even mix. They don't mix. You can't tell me. So if something as water is controlled by obedience, why you think? See, what some of you fail to understand about you praiseologists, you worship halls. True worship only affects God's heart after it comes through obedience. Some of y'all 5 years behind. Some of you 10 years behind. So that was a sidebar. So God killed her first husband. Ask yourself why your first marriage really didn't work. See, some of us afraid of being alone. So we get anything that satisfies our need at the time. And here in verse 9, in verse 8, Judah said, "Go marry your brother's wife and raise up seed to thy brother." Y'all missed that important part. You telling one of your sons, watch this, to go and give honor to a dead man. See, you got to watch women and other men who walking around with a dead person's spirit in their soul. They'll never see you as the man they want. You'll never be the woman they want, because the one they really want or they thought they wanted is dead, but their spirit still sitting on their heart. Ooh, boy, you on fire today, Brother Hubbard. It ain't me. That's God. Oh, that's you? Yeah. Okay, then. And Odin knew that the seed should not be his. So Odin said, you want me to go over here and put some pipe in Tamar? Yeah. And when I put that pipe in her, the child she has is for my brother. It ain't even mine. Odin said, yeah, bet. Odin went and piped her out, but poured it out. See, a lot of you women, see, a lot of you women and men, you doing husband duties for a girlfriend. You giving wifely duties for a boyfriend. But the one that really cared for you, the one that took care of you, that one dead to you. See, the problem is, just in case church ain't taught y'all, that's why God killed him. He, watch this, he had the satisfaction of getting everything a wife supposed to give a husband, but conceive. In other words, like y'all say, he was giving husband benefits to a wife that he didn't even want. See, that's why some of you women, you know why you got played? You know why you got tricked out your panties? The man didn't want you. He seen what you had. That man don't really want you. He just see how fine you is. He want to see how that thing hit, you know. And being a man, we gonna hit it one time because we know sometime when we hit it the first time, you ain't gonna give your all. So we want to see if you really like that. That's when I was out in the world. The second time you might get a little better, you know. But that third time, if he don't see you know how to handle business, you go in rotation. So now you something he called every now and then because it's something about you that you may do good, but you ain't what he looking for. You get what I'm saying? So you meet a man ain't got nothing, but you like the man, or you may be lonely, but you present to him the way of life you living, huh? He said, "Shoo, that little video be going on TikTok, like when the boy or the girl first spend the night over their house, and they say, ooh, this bed comfortable, ooh, they know how to cook, ooh, this Wi-Fi jumping, I ain't leaving here, and they in the bed. That's how they do y'all. So they play love for what you have till they can see that somebody else they really want. They'll leave you for less and struggle than to stay for what they got without struggling. That's sad. So you got to watch women. You got to watch men who leave you but subtly tell you what another man or woman doing for them. They too delusional, blind, or dumb to see. Actually, you was doing the same thing, but they couldn't see it that's what you were doing through their eyes because to them you went about nothing. See, it's easy. Watch this here. Watch this now. Josiah was 3 years old when I met his mama. He 13 now. It's easy for a man to come in now and bond with you. I ain't saying this happening. I'm giving y'all reference so you can see what I'm trying to teach you. It's easy for somebody to come in and probably say something to Josiah and they can handle it. Because the groundwork mostly already been done. See, you went around now with three. When he kept saying Mr. Hubbard, then one day he said, are you gonna be my daddy? And then he went from calling me, he said, hey mom, I mean dad. And then he started to wound stuff. See, you ain't spend 10, 15, $20,000 in just toys. We talking about toys now. Because that done Josiah was kind of, he wasn't mad, but he was like me. Because if he sees something, he want the whole collection. So if I see something, like if I see a shirt I like, I buy it another color. That's how he was. So watch this. You coming in on the tail end. See, it's easy for a woman to say what a man ain't doing for and what a man ain't doing for. But watch this. Suppose all your children grown and at the house. It's easy for you to say this man doing that, but did that man have to take care of your 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 children? Of course he didn't. So would he be the man or would she be the woman if they would started at the beginning instead of coming at the end? I'm inclined to believe, and may be wrong. For some of us men, they wait till we done got their children grown and then they don't want us no more because we can go. They just need a little help, because that little Section 8 ain't all that. You didn't fail. Because God, see, you got to realize that God oftentimes bring you in people's life when you need them. And in the process, so 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 what he did to please see the way a lot of you left your marriages, you left your jobs, you left your friend, it displeased the Lord. And that's why you having trouble getting out of debt. That's why you having trouble finding a place to live, finding a job, finding somebody that really wants you for you. I ain't gonna say that love word because we talked about that yesterday. We didn't shut that down. We didn't shut it down. You, we didn't shut that down. Cause see, we didn't see Adam didn't tell Eve, "I love you." She, watch this. What we failed to see in the first, what we would consider a marriage, or the first relationship between a man or a woman, it, if you see it, it wasn't even about love. It was about, okay, I see she for me. You never seen the word nowhere. And I've read many Bibles now. It never shows Eve acknowledging Adam. It showed Adam acknowledging Eve. So why you gonna ask a man what to bring to a table? What you bringing to the table? The man's supposed to acknowledge who you are to him. That's why I told y'all the other day. Told you the other day. I said but I said for men and women, if that man really for God and for you, even if he can't hear, see, y'all think relationship starts when a person hear God. That will fortify a relationship, but that's not what it's based on. Because even if a person don't hear God, there is a subtle tug that a person can see who you are without knowing who you are. Why y'all think I used to tell y'all when I was in Tallahassee and I'm going to buy my watermelons and people just look at me, men and women. You must be a preacher. I just go to laugh. I said, why you say that? I just see it all over you. And I just laugh. I said, yeah, what you see? I don't know. It's annoying on you or something. So if you see how these men just killing women, why would you want a man that you know that even if he don't have the spirit of God in him, he's not governed by God? Watch this. I'm finna help you out. The worst thing you can do as a single woman is get a man that has never even picked up the Bible. He ain't got to say God speaking to him if he don't even initiate you to read the word. You better watch out, because that shows you that he really, see, anybody can say they want God, but if you don't pick this up, you playing games. I ain't no fool. See, I used to have to watch that when I was in the world. I know what I know what women be thinking sometimes. So watch this. I got the ability to do what a woman want without the woman knowing that's what she's looking for. But when you get a woman of God, you can't fool her. She don't know what's going on. Why you want a woman and she don't pick up this? It don't stop. Cause see, I didn't hear the voice of God, but every now and then I picked up this. I might have used it to my advantage to trick some women out of panties, but I still picked it up. Well, why would you say that, Brother Hubbard? Because you can manipulate, just like you can manipulate the word for the truth, you can manipulate the word for a lie. And I've been on both sides of it. That's why one of the things that I do that I know not too many do, I sit there and teach you manipulation so I can teach you how not to be manipulated. See, watch this. Number two, I can tell when a person relationship is not really lining up with the will of God based on how you talk about the person in the previous relationship. Because to to point out a person's faults and to magnify a stranger, what you telling me is that you didn't do nothing for me. What you showing me that you operating in pride. What you showing me that you operating in selfishness. So I don't have to know if what you have is of God. I can tell by your action, God ain't in it. Because if God in it, there are no respecter of person. What I look like telling the new woman, telling the ex rather, well, she do this, she do that, she do. See, you can talk about something without comparing it. And see, a lot of y'all, because you see, that's one way, and we're gonna teach this. That's one way when I know people look for attention. You compare what you don't have to what you now have because it's all about appearance to you. It's all about attention to you. So now you look at yourself a little higher than what you were. See, we from the streets. I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. Cause see, when I was out there in that world, I studied the game. When I came to God, I got to study the game. It's very little that gets past me because I'm very observant. People might call me paranoid, stop being scared. No, my Holy Spirit be like, people. I remember I had a couple hour counseling, and they were just talking. I'm on the phone, listen, I'm on the phone, listen, I'm on the phone, listen. I said, wait a minute, what you just said? And I corrected him. He said, dog, you sharp in the spirit. Of course I am. Because I used to have to run from the police. I ain't know when the jump out boys coming. So we had to be, I don't see him around now. They'll come up and make a bite. Next thing you know, boom, police search warrant. Man, hey, listen here. Call me old fashioned. The only thing I really miss about staying in the hood, man, them police raids was everything. God, they came in there and knocked that thing out. Them big old AKs drawn quicker. We live for somebody to try to run and get away. Man, they try to run, and if they got them dogs, they look, they hit that thing on that quick lease on that dog, hit it. That dog grab him. Oh, get him off, man. Get him off. But we just sit there laughing. Man, and don't let the fugitive squad come looking for you. Man, they had your whole place surrounded. They already sitting up in the trees, beaming down on you. Anything move gonna be gone. So when they say come up with your hands up, you better not make no move. Man, that was exciting to me. God, I miss that. I miss it. So that's how God doing y'all. He kicking your door in, search one. He trying to search your mind to see can he really, because I told y'all, if God gonna bless you this year, this the year that you got to get it. Because we actually in 7 years of famine. And this first year, he's trying to get you to access the resource you need to build what you need to build, because come year 3.5 to 4, you're going to see things just going down. But y'all ain't got to believe me. Y'all wait for y'all 40 acres and a mule. So here, then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, remain a widow at thy father's house till Shelah my son be grown. For he said, lest peradventure he die also, as his brother did. And Tamar went and dwelled in her father's house. See, it's not that you can't find the right man. It's that you keep finding them. The Bible says God brought Eve to Adam. His qualifications was not alpha male. It was not six pack. It was not six figure. It was not 6.5 inches. Because some of y'all like it, you know. It was God knew what Adam needed. How many men you done turned away because they weren't what Steve Harvey said? They weren't what Pastor preached about. They weren't what the world identified as a man. Adam had a job, he had responsibility, and he was focused. What I want with a woman around me who more focused on her look instead of what my ministry doing. What I want a woman around me who more focused on where the next party at than where the next than what the next evangelism event. What I want that for? It says God brought Eve to Adam. Oh, he ain't got no job. He ain't got no front teeth. Girl, that thing lit. That Ocho, him and Uncle had me left. Ocho said, I ain't got nothing but 3.5 inches. He said, but 3.5 inches can do a lot of damage at a 90 miles an hour. I just laughed. Because even he's saying it ain't, he ain't packing, but he's saying the woman he got is everything. See, a lot of men really can't marry the woman they need because the woman they need don't even know who she is. Or if she know who she is, she don't even know what to do. She don't know what to do. See, the Bible say, he who attained a wife, good thing and favor in the Lord. Notice it didn't say queen. He didn't say alpha female. It didn't say strong. It said a wife. See, the reason you can't see favor in that woman as a wife because you keep calling her queen. A queen usually is part of a kingdom and have possessions. A wife understands her role. She's not in a role. Wife is submission. Queen is authority. The Bible teaches us Give honor to the woman, the weaker vessel. How can she be weak? Is she a queen? How can you give honor to a woman who already thinks she better than you? How can you give an honor to a woman who thinks she better than you because she make more than you? See, the reason your marriage might not have been blessed, man, and I'm trying to tell you, it's not that you failed, it's that you chose somebody who didn't understand who they were. It take more than a fine tale. Cause see, growing up how I grew up, sex don't phase me. I think I done did it all. We had the fruit rollers, the ice, the chocolate, cause we out there selling drugs. So women gonna do anything for money, and we just sitting there laughing while they doing it for that little bit of piece of crack rock. See, that don't phase me. That phase me in the world, and even in the world, I got tired. Cause see, when I was coming to God, if y'all ain't heard this revelation, you're gonna hear it again. If you hear it again, you done heard it again. I used to be in there having sex, crying, and God, why am I doing this? They thinking I'm enjoying it. Hell, I don't want to do it. And some of y'all still out there using. Ooh, I think that I think I wrote that in my book. Some of y'all using sex as a weapon because you brain dead. You ain't got no job. You ain't got no. So only thing you good as is sex. Oh, you got to have more than that if you really want a man of God. No, you got to have more than that. Uh-uh. It ain't that type of party over here. Because he watched this. I'm gonna tell y'all something now. I'm trying to help you women and men. A man cheats for a mindset of peace. A woman cheats because she feels abandoned. A man would never leave his wife for a woman he's cheating with. And if he do, it ain't gonna last long. Because if you grew up like we grew up, and this a man's mindset, why would I want her and she know I got somebody and she cheating with me? She'll do the same to me. That's whole truth. But see, because some of y'all got them whooped, they don't care. But a man that wants something, women I didn't cheated with, I didn't want them. I tell them I want them. I didn't want them. No, because we're gonna talk about this when we get to the we're gonna talk about the destruction in divorcing, and a lot of times a woman will leave her marriage for the man they think right, only to find out he got somebody else. I got to finish. I was watching BMF the other day that done Lucille left Charles for the doctor. The doctor finally got Lucille in the bed. When the doctor got his rocks off, you know what he told Lucille? He said, I've been engaged for 4 years. Made her look like a fool. A lot of y'all looking like a fool. You left. See, Lucille, see, even TV paints the picture. You left something great, but because you couldn't see the greatness in yourself, you didn't think they had greatness, and you went to the doctor. And the doctor put the pole on you. And when the doctor got what doctor said, I've been engaged for 4 years, he didn't want Lucille. As women, the same games we play as men trying to get another woman is some man playing the same game with you. That's why y'all need the Holy Spirit. Oh, this good. We ain't even through. We ain't even through. Okay. Let me look. I hear you. Let me look right quick. Nope, we ain't got time. So see, cause when we come back, we gonna see y'all read it. Watch this. Read Genesis 38. All right. Where we at? Yeah. Read that whole chapters and watch this. Ask God to give you revelation when you read it. Why? You want to, so when I come back and I teach you, you gonna understand something. You gonna understand if you got a relationship with God and you get food. Because see, when I come back, I'm gonna teach on the part Tamar had to dress up like a prostitute just to get the promise of God that was promised to her, but Judah lied to her. See, sometimes what you in and what you in, because you didn't know the promise God got on your life, sometimes you had to be a whore. Sometimes you had to cheat. Sometimes you had to lie. Because even with Tamar dressing up like a whore to access the promise of God, when you don't know who you are, you think you're a failure for what you're going through, but God trying to guide you to what you need to get. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about that.